Good morning, Steve Freed in Chicago with the morning grain comps. Hope everybody had a good weekend. The calls yesterday were slightly lower as the weather forecast called for cooler temperatures across most of the Midwest. The market took that headline as very bearish, with beans down 26 cents at 14.06 in the set and 13.56 in the November. Corn down 12 at 5.08 in the set, down 13 at 5.17 in the December, and wheat's down 22 cents at 6.81 in Chicago, 15 KC at 8.41, and 14 in Minneapolis at 8.81. We've got stock market higher, dollars higher, crude's higher at $81. So again, on one hand, we expect weekly crop ratings to drop 1 to 3 percentage points for corn and soybeans because of last week's heat and dryness. But on the other hand, we're not really sure about the impact the hot temperatures last week had on the corn yield. But cooler temperatures and maybe a couple of showers certainly would help the U.S. Soybean crop. Rains over the weekend, parts of Wisconsin, northern Illinois, southwest Michigan, Indiana. It's raining today in central Nebraska, and we saw some rains in the southeast. There were 50 soybean oil deliveries and no soybean meal deliveries. For private people who are putting S&Ds together, looking at a little bit higher 22, 23 soybean carryout because of lower demand, and then we plug in a yield. Some are using 50.5 with a little bit lower exports than USDA, a little bit higher crush, and you come out with a carryout of 225 versus the USDA's 300. But that carryout is not big enough to support prices. Over in the corn, just a little bit higher old crop carryout due to lower export number. For next year, most at a 175 yield, a few at 173. Gives you a carryout of 2235 if exports are at 1900 versus USDA's 2100. Again, a lot of uncertainty in China with the latest economic data showing that the economy remains slow. They were active buyers in beans last week, both in South America and the U.S. No interest yet on U.S. corn, mostly getting it out of Brazil. The Russians said that the blockade of Ukraine vessel loadings is actually helping their prices to sell, and also there's just a lot of uncertainty of whether or not Ukraine exports can be railed and trucked, and who's going to pay for the additional costs. But again, no headlines of anybody bombing Ukraine facilities is offering resistance to the marketplace. There was some drone attacks on Moscow, and we'll see how the Moscow public and government responds to that.